there, innovators. Today we're going to try projects in our kitchen. These are all quick 5-minute projects that you can try out at home with the help of your family. These are great experiments and projects for all of you to do together. So let's check out the materials that we need in order to make Play-Doh at home and to make great bubble mix. Let's dive in and find out what we need to get started.
So we'll start off by grabbing the materials for the Play-Doh. You'll need some flour and salt. You'll need about 3/4 of a cup of water, the juice of 1 lemon, some measuring tools, a little bit of vegetable oil, and some food coloring.
So the first experiment we're going to try out today is making homemade Play-Doh. And I have a little assistant today who's going to help me, my daughter Finley. Finley, say hi to the audience. All right, let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a pot down, and you're going to add the water to the pot.
Okay.
We're adding about 3/4 a cup of water.
Great job. High five. Okay, second step. We're going to take this here, and we need 1 tablespoon.
Wow.
So we're going to take the lemon juice first.
And we're going to add 3 tablespoons of lemon juice.
2. And 3. Just like that. Now we're going to take vegetable oil like this, and you can add the food coloring next, okay?
And we'll add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil.
That's enough. Okay, that's enough.
Okay. Now, go ahead and add the food coloring.
All of it?
Yeah, not all of it. You're going to put 4 drops.
Okay.
Okay.
1,
2, 3. 1 more. 4. That's good. All right, we did it. High five.
Now what? Now what?
Now you'll take your liquids and you'll put them on the stove. I'm putting my pot and I'm heating it up with medium to low heat. I don't want my liquid mixture to boil. I just want it to start heating up and mixing. So I'll stir it a few times while it starts to heat up. And now it's time to add our dry ingredients. We want to add about 1 cup of flour to our mixture, and I'm adding it slowly. And we're going to add 1/4 cup of salt. And we'll add that to our liquid mixture, and you'll take a wooden spoon and you'll slowly start to stir it in. What you want is to slowly mix all of the ingredients while it's on low heat. And you'll notice that right away it starts to clump up, and that's exactly what you want. So keep mixing slowly. Continue to stir your mixture. Eventually, it'll start to dry and clump up. That's a great sign. Once you have a dough-like consistency, you know you're about done. So you can turn off the flame and take it off of the stove. Next, you'll want to let your mixture dry for just a few minutes, and you'll want to let it cool down. When you're ready, you'll place it on a piece of wax paper. I'm putting it on a plastic cutting board. And you're going to begin to knead, so you want to make sure that it's cool enough that you can handle with your hands. Mine is still a little warm, but it's cool enough for me to handle. So you'll just start to knead it. You'll fold it onto itself a few times, until you get a really nice Play-Doh consistency. All right, that's looking great. Now, if you don't get it right the first time, it's not a problem. The great thing about this project is that you can experiment with the ingredients. Add a little bit more, add a little bit less to see what kind of consistency you get. Looks great.
All right, innovators, well, our first project's done. We made some awesome homemade Play-Doh. And depending on the food coloring that you have, you can make your Play-Doh any color that you want. Again, this is a super easy, fun project to do at home. You're gonna need the help of your parents, of course, to heat this up and to mix all of the ingredients on the stovetop. So it's a great family project, but this is awesome. Now let's move on to our second project. We're gonna make some homemade bubble mix so we can play outside.
For the bubble mix, you're going to need some corn syrup, some dish soap, about 2 cups of warm water, and a big bowl to mix everything in. Looks like we're ready to go. Now, I'm using warm water for my recipe. This is not necessary, but it does help dilute the corn syrup. So, I'm pouring 2 cups of warm water. You can just use regular tap, or you can also try using distilled water. And you'll pour them into your bowl. Next, we're going to add the dish soap. You could just use some store-bought dish soap. And you're going to need about 1/3 cup. So I'm going to take my measuring tool, I'm going to pour some in there. There we go, 1/3. And pour it in there, and that'll go right into the bowl. Perfect. Now your dish soap might be a little bit more thick, so that'll be fine. Next I'm going to add the corn syrup. And you're going to need to add about 1/4 cup of corn syrup. Now the corn syrup is really important to the mixture. That's what's going to allow your bubble mix to be a bit better and a little bit stronger. It'll give it a thicker consistency, thus making your bubbles a lot more resilient. So you'll get larger bubbles that don't pop as easily. So I'll pour that into my warm water and dish soap mix. And I'm going to give it all a quick stir. That's looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to transfer my bubble mix into a mason jar. This is going to allow me to store it and use it at a later time. So, I'm going to do it in the sink, just in case I spill a little bit. And I'm going to pour my mix into the mason jar. Perfect. The great thing about pouring it into a mason jar is that you can store it and just use a little bit at a time.
All right, so innovators, we tried out our quick projects in the kitchen. Now, it's time to test out our bubble mix. The great thing about putting it in a mason jar is that you can use it time and time again. So just pour a little out. I have my special wand here, and that looks great. All right, innovators, we did great things in the kitchen today. We experimented, played with materials, and made some awesome stuff. So now you have some cool things to try out. You got your bubble mix. We also have some homemade Play-Doh that we created. These are great projects to try out with your family. In fact, these projects were inspired by my wife, who helps me and my kids do a lot of cool experimenting in the kitchen. So remember to do these with your family. All right, remember innovators to always think creatively and to think critically. Thanks for watching and make sure to catch the rest. See you later.